Well, hello and welcome. It is N7, so we're playing Mass Effect. I've been talking for 2 minutes, but I did it again. I did this on the last stream. First of all, shout out to John for being the first one to call it out, because I did the exact same thing as I did the last time. I had that mic on mute. Jesus Christ. Well, I said a bunch of nice stuff to all of you. I was welcoming everyone. I was saying good evening. You guys didn't hear any of it. But I assume you guys can hear now. I think I'm almost 100% positive. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. If you can actually hear what's going on now. Oh, man, it's been one of those days. But anyway, I was saying in my little intro that nobody heard, today's N7 Day, obviously, and the thing that you do on N7 Day is you play Mass Effect. That's what is appropriate. And
Commander,
so
you received a new message at your private terminal.
Yeah, I know we've been doing the live streams of Andromeda. We're definitely going to be continuing to do that. But I thought it's N7 Day, and so we should do something classic, something from the original trilogy. And you know, I was kind of somewhat lagging through an OT playthrough when I started doing the live streams of Andromeda. We're going to feed our fish here really quick because, well, because that's what you do on the Normandy. You feed your fish. Oh, snap, Nicole. Thank you for joining really quickly. Happy N7 Day to you. It's okay if you can't stay. Sounds like you got some stuff going on there, but Hansman McMike, yeah, this better make you want to play again. I mean, this is just, and by the way, for anyone that's wondering why this looks so damn good, it's just modded to crap. I've got multiple different high definition texture packs on top of this, and that's just what we're rolling with on this. So it's definitely throwback, but it's also a little bit enhanced. The big news for N7 Day is, of course, speaking of enhanced Mass Effect Andromeda will have an Xbox One X enhanced version. If you play on PC, that's not really that much of an announcement. If you play on PlayStation 4 Pro, you guys already had an HDR 4K version enabled, but now Mass Effect Andromeda coming to Xbox One X as an enhanced version.
You may want to check in on him.
So that's the only real big news that we have for N7 Day, unfortunately. I wish we had more. I wish we had more to talk about. I had another video kind of expressing that I wish we had more. We'll see whether or not that gets posted today or not, but for sure I thought, now that I've gotten into the swing of things as far as streaming, we should definitely do a classic Mass Effect stream for today.
Commander.
How is the audio mix, by the way? I just want to make sure that my voice and game audio are doing okay.
I assume everything is going well up here?
Neither one is too loud or too low.
What the?
Trouble?
No, it's nothing. Son of a... Very funny, Edie. Real original. Stop it.
You did insist on manual control, Mr. Moreau.
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last, I would never say anything against Miranda and expect to survive the reprisal. It seems like Garrus has finally worked that stick out of his butt, but now he's trying to beat guys to death with it. I like the old Garrus better. It's just my opinion, though. Really
this is one of those things where they did so well with these little interactions with Joker. If you remember in Mass Effect 1, Joker didn't have that many conversations. He kind of had one or two conversations in his individual character arc, so to speak, where he tells you a bit about his past. And there's just so much more there in Mass Effect 2 and in Mass Effect 3. And that to me was such a great layering of depth and immersion to the crew. I've kind of lamented that there are so many sort of nameless, faceless, well, not faceless, but voiceless, crew members like this around the Normandy SR1 and 2. But I love the interaction between Joker or between Kelly or later on Trainer, or the various different assorted members that you have within the Normandy. So I just love that layering of depth. Okay, so yes, for those of you who are coming in as we play, happy N7 Day. I see a lot of happy N7 Day in the chat. I just want to wish all of you a happy N7 Day. It is one of the dumbest, dorkiest things that you could be happy about. But I'm a big, huge nerd, and it's kind of nice to see some people who are also excited to play and think about and reminisce about Mass Effect, which is my favorite video game series of all time. It's the reason why I do YouTube. It's the reason why I do live streaming, and it's really incredible that I've never thus far streamed Mass Effect Original Trilogy. So, all right, so I do want to let you know, what are we doing? I don't know how long I'm going to go. We'll see how long I'm going to stream, but I wanted to maybe do a couple of missions. I've got, and also FYI, because this is not yet going to be a reoccurring series, this is just kind of a special one-off. I felt it made more sense to jump straight into the middle of a save rather than start from the beginning. So that's kind of cool because we got choices. I got a couple of different loyalty quests lined up. So we got Samara's, we got Thane's, we have Grunts loyalty, we have Mordin's loyalty quest, we have Jack's loyalty quest. I still had not gone to grab Tali as far as her recruitment quest. We got Jacob's loyalty quest. I don't know if there's a lot of love for Jacob, but I figured for the folks that we have in the chat, what do you guys want to do? I'm open to any of this. What do we think we should do as far as all of these loyalty quests? You guys pick, and I'm happy to pick whichever quest you guys want to do right now. Ooh, I see we got some love for Tuchanka early. Let's also not forget, Thane's is really good just because you get to do the good cop, bad cop thing as well. That's always fun. Man, Grunt, the love for Grunt is coming through right now. I can feel it. Okay, all right. Well, look, we're going to be on Tuchanka, so I see some people saying maybe we can kind of knock out Mordin's and Grunts real fast, so I'm down for that. And yes, we are definitely going to headbutt that Krogan. You better believe it. All right, let's make a quick hard save. This was our main save. I think I normally do... How do I normally do this? Yeah, I think I normally make one before I go down to a specific planet, so I'll do that now. Forever, since I've been playing Knights of the Old Republic, I've pretty much always done the 4-save thing, because back in the day, you really had to worry about a save corrupting and something going terribly wrong. Oh, well, I guess first, I think I still have to talk to Grunt, right? Yeah, I gotta go down and talk to Grunt first to trigger this. Yeah, I've always had the 4-save system where I've got one main that I do only when I stop playing, one before I go to a planet, one that's like compulsive, and then another one that's right before level ups.
Chambers said you're tearing up the place. Something wrong?
Something is wrong, Shepard. I feel wrong. Tense. I just want to kill something. With my hands. More so than usual. Like it's not my choice. Like I just want to... I don't know. See? Why do that? What's wrong?
You're a Krogan. I was literally about to say, Krogan do like to headbutt things.
Pure Krogan probably starts more aggressive than most. I'm not seeing this as a particularly big shift.
Doesn't matter if it's normal. I'm not. I'm not used to this noise. I want control. When we're moving, fighting, I focus. But here, my blood screams, my plates itch, and even you are just noise. I'm tank-born. What is this?
Edie, anything in your files about Krogan diseases that could cause this?
Cerberus has a number of autopsies on file, but nothing on a living Krogan of this age and situation. Krogan are reluctant to share medical records.
My people were defeated by doctors and labs. They will never let stuff like that leave the home world, Tuchanka.
Nicole, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, man, watch out for that battery, but I appreciate that you were able to stop by for a minute. All right, and let's head over to Tuchanka. I don't know if this comes through on the stream, but after having played a bunch of stuff on console, I feel like this is going to ruin it for me because I'm running this, like we're streaming it I think in 1080, but I'm playing it locally in 4K with no motion blur and no film grain and super high resolution textures locked at 60 FPS. And holy moly, when you play something like that, it just looks bizarrely clear and just amazing. Hey, Gabby. Yeah, so I mentioned that really briefly, right? That's really the only news, unfortunately, that we have to talk about this year on N7 is the fact that Andromeda now has Xbox One X enhanced support, which is great. I'm also happy that they did something to support the game, but at the same time, that's not huge, you know, but it is good. You know, I've been playing on PC, so it's not as big a thing. If you've been playing on PlayStation 4 Pro, you kind of already have that support, but it's definitely a good thing that that they've added that for Xbox One X, definitely. And from what I understand, it's not too extensive to make that update, so I don't think that really even, that probably was not even any real BioWare resources. There might have been some separate technicians at EA that could just convert that stuff over. Man, I almost did the planet rotation thing like we have in some later titles, but nope, we're just going to land, we're going to drop straight down. Yeah, you know, I think we all would have preferred DLC, although I will say it is very nice to know and see that Tom Taylorson is going to be doing the audio book for the upcoming novel that's going to be sort of answering the question of what did happen to the Krogan arc, and so that's also good to know. You know, I was kind of going to say, like, what do we want to do? Is this a no-brainer? Do we just take Mordin and Grunt since we're going down there? Or do we want to take someone else to go along with Grunt and then swap out another pair? You know, get Grunt and maybe someone else and then do Mordin and someone else so we can throw in a wider arrangement of squad mates. Not So Smart Guy, yes, so there is a new novel that's going to be coming out that is going to cover what story would have been covered in the Krogan arc DLC. Yeah, Mordin and Grunt on both. That's kind of what I was thinking. And so we can definitely try and rock that out. I see some love for Garrus, though. Well, that's just the thing. We do not have Tali yet. She is one of the remaining ones not to be picked. You know, I kind of like taking Garrus on Grunts. I do got to say that. I do kind of like taking Garrus on Grunts because I feel like it's a real Garrus activity going after the Thresher Maw. And then it is very interesting to bring Grunt on Mordin's. So I'm torn. All right. I think I'm gonna go Garrus Grunt. Wait, can I cycle Garrus? Do I have his? Yeah, I think I have his loyalty already. Yep. Okay. We'll do that. And also, this is modded a couple of other ways besides just the. Oh, cool! I haven't even spec'd out Grunt yet. All right. Definitely gonna take his passive all the way up. And yeah, I kind of feel like he's still getting more health regeneration, so I'm gonna take the weapon damage, honestly. We will take... Concussive all the way. Robert Smith says Mass Effect 2 question mark. Of course Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 is what you would play on N7 Day. I did debate a little bit of Mass Effect 3 because there are parts of that that are brilliant, but I figured the classic is to go with some ME2. This is just gonna do heavier, way more damage in Newton force. This is just a wider spread. I'm gonna go with the heavy one. I'll go with that. And then, interesting. Okay, I'm still going for the classic Avenger assault rifle, shotgun. All right, this seems doable. Although I wonder why I shouldn't go. But no, let's just. If I remember correctly, I liked the Avenger a lot in 2, but we will take missile launcher for that Thresher Maw fight. And then yep, it's classic combination for I don't know why on earth we would have him with a collector rifle, and he needs the claymore for sure. Okay, I think we're ready to go. You know, I wonder how many of us would just love a Mass Effect 1 remaster. I think that would be incredible. I'm not even necessarily sure that I would want it in Frostbite, but that would be the most likely thing, would be to have it in Frostbite. That would be best. Oh, so again, some of the mods. This, if I remember correctly, and it's been a while since I've actually opened up this save file and everything, I believe that this Mass Effect 2 playthrough that I'm going through has my custom INI configuration file, so it's basically a custom difficulty level. I'll explain here a little bit as we go. It's not quite one of the standard difficulties.
The clan leader wants to speak with you. Keep your running pet on a short leash. Get him the right soon or put him down.
Do you know what's wrong with him? What he needs?
There's nothing wrong with him. Just go speak to the clan leader.
So Allie, thanks for stopping by. We're not quite sure how long we're gonna go yet. We know we're gonna try and do Grunt and Mordin's loyalty missions, and we'll see how it goes from there. But as I was saying about the mods that are on this one, so back in the day, I made a custom difficulty setting, essentially combining casual and insanity, or hardcore. So I'll go down super quickly, but so do enemies. It's basically high risk, high reward. Everybody's very squishy, and everybody does a high amount of damage.
Clan reports use weak encryption. I see references to a captured Solarian in the logs of the Chief Scout.
Also, I made some changes to shields regenerating for enemies, but also biotic powers being able to go through shields. So that's a little bit of how we decided to balance that out, essentially.
This is the great Krogan homeworld. This is the land of Kredok, Shiagar, and Viol. This chunk of rock is barely worth standing on. Never thought I'd miss the tank.
Happy N7 Day, indeed. Again, glad everybody could join on this stream. And John says, so dying a lot for everyone. Sort of. Yeah, a bit. But not quite as much as you would think. I've gotten used to playing like this, and it's not quite as much dying as you would think.
You must wait till the clan leader summons you. He is in talks.
You know what tradition demands. Clan Erdnot must respond. Your reforms will not go unopposed. You risk appearing weak at a critical time.
Shepard.
Good enough?
The man himself.
Excuse me.
Out of my... Shepard. My friend. You look well for dead, Shepard. Should have known the Void couldn't hold you.
Looks like helping me destroy Saren and the Geth has worked out for you. Glad we didn't have to kill each other on Vermeer.
You made the rise of Erdnot possible. Vermeer was a turning point for the Krogan. though not everyone was happy about it.
Liz, you took the words out of my mouth. I was right about to say that. The visual theme for Mass Effect 1 coming through
I used that to
right
stir the clans to
on the Rex
unify
reveal
under
is absolutely
Urdnot.
brilliant.
You abandoned many traditions to get your way. Dangerous.
Speak when
Yeah,
spoken
don't
to,
be talking
then.
smack to Rex, son. I don't know what you're doing.
The glory, whether it likes it or not. Now, Shepard, what brings you here?
Luis, the graphics hold up brilliantly well when you mod the crap out of them. So this is not vanilla Mass Effect 2 by a long shot. I've gotten multiple texture packs, super high definition texture packs. I'm playing in 4K and then streaming. I think it's streaming in 1080. So yeah, the game looks quite good. But I think if you were playing like on 360 or something, it would not hold up nearly as well.
Destroyed in the Collector surprise attack. I ended up spaced.
Well, you look good. Ah, the benefits of a redundant nervous system.
Yeah. Humans don't have that.
Oh, it must have been painful then. But you're standing here, and you've got a strong new ship.
Sten says, one wonders how a Krogan romance would work. Carefully, I would hope. Like, really carefully.
Sounds like you've got big changes ahead for the Krogan.
We are making a neutral ground where all clans are welcome. Fertile females can be shared among clans. We will strengthen the race as a whole.
Robert, so yeah, I wasn't able to mod Mass Effect 1 in quite the same way, although I do remember an attempt. And I also on 3, but unpacking the proprietary file system in 3 was a lot harder. People could do it, but it required a lot of legwork if you're not, a really experienced modder, and I'm not. I just sort of like haphazardly made my way through it.
How do you maintain security with so many different clans in one place?
Any clan willing to send in hostages can come in. No fighting inside the camp. Each clan punishes its own criminals. We stop
Robin
conflict
Yoda, am I
before
pronouncing
it
that right?
arrives.
Robin Yoda, the Lilac Bunny. I believe this is a Vanguard class. I say I believe because it's been, I kind of forgot about this playthrough a little bit. So I believe this is a Vanguard class. Vanguard with like a bonus on something from prior playthroughs. And also, I just want to call out again the robustness of the dialogue wheel. Like, you see that there are some of these top right and bottom right expanded options that upon taking them, like, this seems reasonable, came up after I took another one. So it was really more than 6 different dialogue options. And my business here is going to open up even more. I just don't agree with the fact that the dialogue wheel has been pared down somehow in later games, like as though they thought it needed to be simpler. It's not as though this is inelegant. This is really robust, and I love the fact that it feels reminiscent to the amount of options that you had in the dialogue branches or dialogue trees of KOTOR, but it's just a little more intuitive because of the wheel. Like, I just really want, like, it seems like these dialogue options have been getting reduced as Mass Effect went on, and so this is, even in Mass Effect 3, it's a little bit reduced. I think Mass Effect 2, quite honestly, might be peak dialogue wheel.
That doesn't sound very harsh by Krogan standards.
Allies from other clans like what I'm doing. They help deal with skeptics. Many are eager for an outlet. Every time I've declared a clan unwelcome, my allies
Robin
have
Yoda,
destroyed
not
them.
Renegade. This playthrough, if I recall correctly, kind of like the roleplay angle was mainly Paragon, but like pretty professional, just not clean cut. Like, not straight Paragon, but Paragon leaning with a justifiable, headbutt, pushing people out of windows. The classic, you're working too hard, that sort of thing.
What's so important about maintaining individual clans?
Every clan has different customs, rites of passage, rules of behavior, battle songs, all unique.
Sten, I agree that ME2 is really peak BioWare, and the reason why I would say that that is that they have the combination right between Drew Karpyshyn and Mac Walters. Like, I think when Drew was laying the framework for the story, and then you let someone like a Mac Walters maybe touch up from certain aesthetic standpoints, as far as like water cooler moments and things like that, and pulling from like film and stuff like have a good solid sci-fi base, and then let a writer like Mac come in and sort of punch up some of the maybe dialogue or some of the more cinematic moments.
Urdnot is the leading clan. Doesn't that make your culture primary?
For now. But every clan has its unique assets. The best tacticians are Urdnot. Jorgal has the longest
yeah, Lucas. I agree. First of all, thank you for being here. Glad you could make it. And also, I agree that there are certain renegade moments in Mass Effect 2 that are so good you have to take them. Like you could be the most Paragon in the history of Paragons, but on Garrus's recruitment mission, when you're trying to play the different gangs off of each other, you have to take the renegade interrupt when he electrocutes the guy working on the gunship and then goes, "You're working too hard." I mean, that's a classic. It's a Mass Effect classic. You have to take that.
I hope that works well for your people. But back to the reason I'm here.
We don't often allow aliens to do business on Tuchanka, but you're an exception.
I have a Krogan on my crew. He has some kind of sickness and needs treatment.
Where are you from, whelp? Was your clan destroyed before you could learn what is expected of you?
I have no clan. I was tank bred by Warlord Okir. My line distilled from Kredok, Moro, Shiagar.
You recite warlords, but you are the offspring of a syringe.
I am pure Krogan. You should be in awe.
Okir's a very old name. A very hated name.
He is dead.
Of course. You're with Shepard. How could he be alive?
Does that name mean anything to you, Rex?
A vicious warlord responsible for many deaths, who apparently toyed with genetics. A clone undertaking the Rite.
You are considering it? Tank-bred allowed status as an adult? This is too far.
There's nothing wrong with him. He's becoming a full adult.
Adolescence? Can't we just take him to Omega and buy him a few dances?
I don't care what aliens call it. Krogan undergo the rite of passage.
Too far, Rex. Your clan may rule, but this thing is not Krogan.
Idiot. So, Grunt, do you wish to stand with Urdnot?
You'll let a tank-bred Krogan join Clan Urdnot?
Only because he's with you.
One of the things, again, that I really loved about how conversations were set up in Mass Effect 1 and 2, and 3 to some extent, but I think especially in 1 and 2, is it felt like every conversation was just given enough time to really be the center of attention. Right? It wasn't there to set up exposition. It wasn't there to just sort of construct, it wasn't there to plug holes in the plot. It wasn't there to just tell you where your next mission objective is going to be. And it really felt like the conversation was the center of the focus in the game. Even though the action got a lot better in Mass Effect 2, it really feels like each conversation is given time and it's constructed in such a way where it's meant to be a fully functioning conversation, not just a piece of a video game where you always have to know where to go next. I think that a lot of the writing in more recent BioWare games has been about making sure that the player knows where to go next, and not so much making sure that as an audience member or even as a player that you understand the character motivations involved and have a satisfying role to play, as far as how you're role playing your character.
What does the rite of passage require?
Not for me to say, Shepard. The shaman will discuss that.
Jen, thanks so much for being here. First time. Wow, welcome. I'm so glad you could make it. I am streaming Mass Effect 2 because it's N7, and that's what I do anyway. If I can help it, I play Mass Effect on N7 day because that's what you're supposed to do. And so glad you could make it.
This is his choice.
my blood. It is what I am for.
Good boy. Speak with the shaman. He's over on the second level. Give him a good show and he'll set you on the path. You too, Shepard. How many times have you stepped in a mess for your crew, hmm?
Good to see you, Rex.
You always got to make
Sure
the
you
offer.
can't come with us?
Wish I could. But I need to keep these short-sighted fools in line. Hunt
Luis,
well,
you know what?
Shepard.
That's a great call out. Same. Yeah, Mass Effect 2, every single achievement. And that is very, very rare for me. Very rare. And it's never anything where I like to go after, oh, I've got to get every achievement or I've got to get the platinum trophy on PlayStation. Nothing like that. I'm just not that type of gamer. I just kind of want the story, and if I replay it, it's for story reasons, or maybe some gameplay reasons, but never for achievements. And so that's why it's really even more interesting to me that I got everything in Mass Effect 2 and 3. Was just, it's basically, I just loved it so much, I just naturally got all the achievements.
Good, Varen. Stay.
Greetings, human. My name is Ratch. Have a look at what I've got.
What do you have in stock?
Most of it's food and drink that's toxic to humans. Rincall's a local favorite. Don't try to act tough, it'll tear your insides apart.
He's not joking. Rincall hits aliens like ground glass.
Otherwise, I've got weapons, scrap, and whatever food those pie jocks don't steal. Which isn't much.
Jen, I know the feeling when it comes to deadlines. This is, I didn't want to let this day go by, especially considering now that we have the streaming channel. It's N7 Day, and I've never done streaming of the original trilogy. I just thought it's a perfect opportunity. I got to make the time to do it. So, again, for those of you finding time in the middle of the week when I'm sure, you've got stuff going on tomorrow morning, appreciate you making some time.
I should go.
Suit yourself.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's we will be taking that. We will be taking that. What the heck, just in case.
This might be useful.
And I know some people like the death mask. I really don't. We'll purchase it just for the heck of it, but probably never going to equip it.
One of the children, probably 5 years from the Rite. Yeah, my eyes. Think you actually had a fertile female on one of your trips to their camp? You see that special they had on the extranet? That crap rots your brain. You should be out hunting. Fixing something if you can't hunt. There was a special vid on the Citadel.
Oh, all right, Emily, that is a great question. For those who maybe don't know or not as familiar with, what is N7 Day in Mass Effect? N7 is basically just like the Christmas of Mass Effect. That's the way that I would describe it, right? It's just a Mass Effect fan holiday in some sense. The reason why it falls on, it's called N7 Day, which by default means that November 7th becomes N7 Day.
I've had enough of you.
N7 is, you can see it on Shepard's armor. It became an iconic piece of the lore. What it means in lore is basically a special forces designation. So within the Human Alliance military, they have different code letters. N is the code for special forces, and it's 1 through, technically it's 1 through 6. And then N7 is like they had to introduce another level for the top special forces. Shepard is an N7. And so yeah, the N7 logo has become pretty much synonymous with Mass Effect, and so hence November 7th, N7 Day, that's when people reminisce about Mass Effect, play Mass Effect, stream Mass Effect, talk about Mass Effect, and that is essentially what N7 Day is. There is not yet any Dragon Age equivalent, but eventually maybe there will be, and that is something that the fandom is working on putting together.
Watch it. You go beyond yourself, Gatatog Uvank. The rights of Urdnot are dominant. How do we know it will challenge him? He's unnatural. The beasts of the Rite could ignore him like a lump of plastic. They know blood no matter the womb. Your barking does not help your case.
I'll speak for myself.
This is the tank bread. It is very lifelike. Smells correct as well. Your protests ring hollow, Uvank.
Urdnot Rex has given us permission to seek clan status for Grunt.
Permission. That is good enough, if lacking in spirit. If this must stand on ritual, then I invoke a denial. My Grant stands against him. He has no one. My patience is tested, but Uvank invokes correctly. Grunt, who is your Grant? Your allies willing to kill and die on your behalf?
Jen asks, what do I think of Jen Hale's voice for the Overwatch character? I have not heard any of it. Jennifer Hale is a legend. I mean, she's just an absolute legend. I don't know that she's ever done anything that I didn't like. You know, I played through a bit of the female trooper class in Star Wars The Old Republic, even though I had really no interest in playing that class from a gameplay standpoint, just to hear her voice. She is that good. I mean, you know, she is an essential part of Mass Effect, and so, no, haven't heard anything of her in Overwatch. If I had to guess, it's probably brilliant.
How is a candidate tested if he brings backup on his rite of passage?
Not every Krogan can be the strongest warrior, but each must inspire his peers to battle at his side. If the ones who know you best can find nothing worthy in you, you should wander the wastes and die alone before you weaken my clan.
We stand with Grunt, as shipmates and comrades.
Shipmates are not the same thing, but I grant you aliens your simple interpretation. Aliens don't know strength. My followers are true Krogan. Everything about Grunt is a lie.
Get out of my face, son. Don't you know who Shepard is?
You dare. I like this human. He understands.
God, there's just some part of me that just has like this weird like fan fiction storyline in which instead of it being Ryder and Andromeda, it's Shepard, and when Liam does shitty push-ups, Shepard just headbutts him in the face.
Reason enough for me to like you.
Sorry, that's a that's a reference. That's a reference to my rants on the Andromeda streams. I got to remember, not everybody may get that reference.
We've waited long enough. Tell us how this works.
Still your impatience, Shepard. For now, know that Grunt will be tested, and that you must adapt.
Do we need any special equipment?
To begin the Rite, only the candidate and his Krant are required. You love battle, don't you, Shepard? The last.
I love that. I love that smile on Shepard. Nobody complained about the awkwardness of the animations with Shepard nearly as much. I don't know what that is. It's not as though the original trilogy didn't have weird facial animations.
We'll return when we're ready.
When the young Krogan is prepared, bloodshed in the Rite must not be rushed.
Eyes straight ahead.
Robin Yoda, on the heatsink issue, I don't have a strong opinion on it, and I feel like it was set up essentially in that space within the lore, right? Like if you read the description of how the heatsink, like the overheating properties of guns worked, if you think about what that description was like in the Mass Effect Revelation prequel novel, I don't feel like ejecting a heatsink is necessarily like as a clip is that big of a stretch. Like I actually think that it's
Don't crowd the ambassador.
I feel like that's actually plausible enough. It's obviously a change that they made as a retcon for gameplay, but it didn't bother me too much.
Turn back, human. I may be an ambassador among my people, but that doesn't mean I have to speak to the likes of you. Don't think that carrying this whelp of a Krogan makes you worth my time. Leave now before my guards decide to eject you.
If your guards are looking for a fight, then we can oblige.
This will be interesting. They haven't had a human in their sights in some time.
Of course, if they draw their weapons, the Urdnot warriors will be on them in seconds. Assuming they survive what I do to them.
Stand down, men. I'm starting to like this human. I am the ambassador to Urdnoth from Clan Nakmor. We're a small clan based in the Aquatic Wastes.
I thought all Krogan want to be warriors. What makes a Krogan
Gabby,
become
can we
an
turn on
ambassador?
subtitles? Definitely. Yes. Normally I play with them off, but I always have to remind myself for stream. It definitely makes it a little bit easier.
Has to represent the strength of his people, or his clan appears ripe for conquest. I slaughtered my way to the top of my clan, human. I speak with the authority of a warrior.
I should go.
I'm sure you are needed elsewhere.
Alright, with that little bit... Wait, can we talk to this person also?
Reason. Go away. The envoy of female clans doesn't have to listen to aliens.
Alright, let's get going with the
Rite
Rite.
of passage. Be warned. Once it is started, you must see it through to success or death.
We're ready to begin.
Excellent.
Yeah, and I don't know, the heatsink clips being universal, I just think... Yeah, they could have layered in a little more complexity to make it immersive within a science fiction universe, for sure. I think they just went for simplicity due to the gameplay elements of it, which, again, it is, if you're a hardcore science fiction fan, you might like to see more of a thorough explanation, but it is kind of nice to... I felt that the feel of reloading was actually quite good in ME2, so I kind of think the trade-off is worth it.
This is Tuchanka's most recent scar. The last surface city to fall in the rebellions. The Keystone was at the heart. It has survived wars and the passage of centuries. It endures. Like the Krogan.
Janessa, this should be a Vanguard class.
If you wish to join Clan Urdnoth, you must contemplate the Keystone and its trials.
What will happen?
Who knows? You must adapt. You must thrive no matter the situation. Any true Krogan will. First the Krogan conquered Tuchanka, and mastered anatomy. To a world only we are fit to hold.
Alright,
Here they come.
here we go.
I'm ready. Got the target. I'll put them down. Weakling! One more. There. These beasts will know I'm worthy.
Understood.
Right. I got it. Impact shot! Right.
Snipe that one!
Right. On it.
You got it. I'm with you.
Behind you.
One thing I didn't factor in is that with this custom difficulty level, it really doesn't provide any challenge if you're talking about just melee enemies. It gets a little tricky once you start to deal with enemies that actually fire back, but if it's melee, they just don't have enough damage resistance.
On the ground, now!
I mean, then again, neither do we if they can actually get close enough to the damage. Now, how it's actually going to play with the Thresher Maw, I don't know, because I feel like its projectile attack is going to one-shot us.
These beasts will know I'm worthy.
Moving.
Right. Ready for another round.
Yeah, Janessa, I played Vanguard a bunch, and then I hadn't done it for a while, and so, yeah, this is my first Vanguard one in a bit.
We need to trigger the keystone to continue the Rite.
Then the Krogan were lifted to the stars to destroy the fears of a galaxy. An enemy only we could chase to their lair.
Oh, this should be fun.
Come to your death. Hostiles! Impact shot! Yes! Got it! One more. Yeah, right on your ass. Got it.
I'm on it.
You're up.
You got it. Hostile engaged.
Whew, there we go. And I don't remember this round being so... But now it is. They just keep coming.
We need to trigger the keystone to continue the Rite.
Yeah, just most of these being, you know, melee based, it's just really not going to be much of a... I mean, I say that until they really start to... Until they really start to swarm.
Feel that? Everything's shaking.
Oh boy, here we go. those environmental destruction effects were like, man, they sure were 2009, all right. Yeah, the missile launcher gets the job done. Wow, he just starts destroying every pillar we have used for cover. That's not good. And so another feature of this custom difficulty is that health will not regen by itself. Health only regens crap. Health only regens from using metagel packs. He's firing enough of those, and it's not quite a one-shot, but it definitely drops shields all the way down, and then I might be able to take like 2 hits after that.
You never saw me coming. Scoped and dropped.
But now I think we got it. Okay, very good. I mean, it's not quite the grunt ritual if you don't fully take down that Thresher Maw. It's kind of, they say it's an achievement, but I call it par for the course.
And to run down the Thresher Maw. No one has done that in generations. Word not Rex was the last.
My cramp gave me strength beyond my genes, which are damn good.
This will cause discussion. I wonder. You say you are pure, no alien meddling in your construction, just the warlord of Tyr.
Come on, Uvek. You want to try killing him? Give it your best shot.
Not yet.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's got to think things through carefully.
I'm not getting any more natural.
You are powerful. You are a mistake. But your potential could tip the current balance of the clans.
You spit on my father's name, on Shepard's name, but now you stop ranting because I'm strong.
With restrictions. You could not breed, of course, or serve on an alien ship. But you'd be clan in name.
You talk like he's a thing. You're after his power. You don't really want him in your clan.
Of course not. I didn't really want to cooperate with Clan Bergnot either, but I had to. Clan Gatatog is on the verge, either of greatness or of joining the dust. I get traditional support if I fight you, and reformer support if I back you. Your rite of passage tipped that balance too.
If I know Grunt, your answer's coming at muzzle velocity.
You do know Grunt. This Farron is dead.
Now, what's actually interesting is that a lot of times on this, in particular on this custom difficulty, this fight is actually harder. And the reason why it's harder is because of flamethrowers.
They've seen it.
Do it now!
So it's actually interesting that I've traditionally maybe had a little bit more trouble with this one on this difficulty level. Reeve or do I have Slam? No. Yeah, actually, you know what? There you go. We'll use good show. I love how the guy who thinks he's the toughest is in the back hiding. Yeah, Rex, you want to shoot... Rex, sorry. Garrus, you want to shoot this guy in the face real quick? Thank you. Now, if I can plan this out correctly, I want to finish him off up close, but you can't get... I know it looks like we're kind of mowing through him because I'm playing behind cover pretty conservatively, my shields and health will go in like 2 seconds if I try and go right up against them. There you go.
Moving is meat. Let's signal at the Keystone to get out of here and leave him to rot.
You know, Slam is kind of a nice one, but you can always take it as the bonus, power as well.
The honor of clan and name. Many survive, but it has been years since a Thresher Maw fell. Your names shall live in glory. Grunt, you are Urdnot. We now own property. Join the army and apply to serve under a battle master.
Shepard is my battle master. He has no match.
Understood. Congratulations, Urdnot Grunt. Accept this token from Fortak. His weapons are the finest we have.
What were you called before you became shaman?
I gave up my name when I became the shaman. I am a conduit for the rage and bloodlust of my people. It would be wrong to retain my old identity. My life belongs to the clan.
End 7 day 2018. It just wouldn't be complete without killing a Thresher Maw, I say. So, so there we have Grunt's loyalty mission in Mass Effect 2, and I think what we're saying now is let's go ahead and do Mordin's while we're here on Tuchanka, and also because Mordin's loyalty mission in Mass Effect 2, and I've talked about this on one of the recent podcasts, it's one of the best. It's part of one of the best instances of character development in any RPG ever, right? Mordin really develops as a character in his view on the Krogan and the Genophage, and his reflection on that is really earnest, and I think it really links the player into thinking about that issue in a really nuanced way. Very good. All right, so let's swap out here. Yeah, we did kill a Thresher Maw on foot. You're welcome.
You don't have the flavor to try. You hear that the tank bred and the human killed the Thresher Maw? Everybody's heard. Hasn't been done since Rex himself.
You just can't help making trouble. No one has killed a Maw since my turn in the Rite. Next you'll tell me he's a Quint and crap's dark matter. Guess that's what it takes to replace me.
Crap's dark matter.
You are Urdnot Grunt. Welcome.
I need to go. We'll go over this another time.
Watch yourself, Shepard. Tuchanka isn't safe and homey like Theros and Ilos.
I barely survived the Maw during my Rite. Guess that human's got a quad.
Damn, that sound design is so, like, full.
Urdnot clan reports use weak encryption. I see references to a captured Solarian in the logs of the Chief Scout.
It's just really full, and I don't know if bassy is the right term, but it just really feels like it has some resonance to it, like the doors opening. Yeah, why not go for the darker armor? What the heck? And then we'll also go ahead and bring Mordin with us. Oh, snap. Is that a little bit of Katie I see in the chat? What is up? Oh snap! Okay, you know what? I'm really glad you can make it. It would not be a true full and 7-day experience without Katie joining us. And how do we want to fully spec? Yeah, you know what? Let's max incinerate, because I just feel like Mordin would be an incinerator kind of guy. I just kind of feel like, you know, if he was fighting bad guys, he would prefer to set them on fire. I just, you know, it might just be, I might be reading too much into it, but... Yeah, Mordin would do this and this. Although I do remember there's a way to change what loadouts they would use, and I kind of feel like Mordin should be, I don't know, maybe like dual pistols or something. But now this works. Grunts still rocking the Claymore, and yeah, we'll roll with that.
What did I tell you, honey? Isn't it beautiful? Far away from all that high-tech noise.
I guess. Seems a bit dirty, though.
Oh, it builds character.
There's the young hero. Erdnot Grunt and his victorious crowns.
This is the least Krogan sounding Krogan ever.
I have work for you if you want it, Erdnot Grunt. Just set the human aside and we can talk.
He sounds like sort of like a you know, deeper voiced human, but not Krogan in the least.
Look around you, human. This is the Krogan homeworld. The Blood Pack recruits Krogan. So unless your Erdnot friend wants to sign on the dotted line, you can go back the way you came.
Yeah, so Katie, good question. This is actually not a new game, and also for anyone who may have been joining us a little bit later, wasn't here at the start, this is not a new game. This is a file that I had already had started, and I kind of figured that for N7 Day, since this is not going to be necessarily a series just yet, it's sort of like a one-off thing, it would be better to start in the middle of the game. And it was actually great because I didn't plan this out or anything, but we essentially had a bunch of loyalty missions that we could do. Yeah, so basically we got to choose, people voted, they said Mordin and Grunts loyalty missions, those would be the most fun, so we jumped into those. Maybe if we have time, we can go get Tali, because we still haven't recruited Tali in this one. Like, shame on me, she's the last one I'm recruiting, but yeah, basically all of the loyalty missions were waiting. And so yeah, we're gonna see if we can just knock out some loyalty missions, which are really, I mean, it's one of the best parts about Mass Effect 2.
Shepard, what can I do for you, my friend?
I'm looking for a Solarian. He was captured by the Blood Pack and brought here.
My scout commander can direct you. He's probably near the perimeter running target practice. Don't take too much of his time. I need a constant watch on the other clans.
Sounds like you've got big changes ahead for the Krogan.
We're making a neutral ground where all clans can share resources and fertile females. It's a new day for the Krogan. We shall rise again.
Janessa, I 100% agree about the maturation of Tali. Tali, Garrus certainly, but definitely Tali and definitely Liara. I think are the ones that I would call out who really all have very excellent arcs throughout. So yeah, definitely. Oh, and Katie, no, it's not even remotely vanilla. There's so many texture mods on this. There's the 2 major packs, and then there's a couple of like even smaller one-off ones. So
sounds ambitious. How's it gone so far?
Better than I'd feared, worse than I'd hoped. I've got a few clans, but Too many are turning their backs on us entirely.
Sounds like you're not making friends.
Traditionalists like Tuchanka are chained Varen, always fighting, guarding their pathetic stick in the ground. When the smoke clears, I can plant the flag on their corpses and rally the rest around a new Krogan hub.
Sounds like you're counting on a lot of bloodshed, even after you unite.
It will be slow, but I won't change what we are. Krogan are judged by the strength of our enemies. Our worst insult is to say someone's not worth killing.
You know, I mentioned earlier about the strength of the dialogue wheel in Mass Effect 2 versus the more recent game. Even Mass Effect 3 was still pretty good, but Mass Effect 2, I'll say it again, is peak dialogue wheel. Right? It's really the best of the and when you see that again, like that middle right option was basically 3 dialogue options, right? If you pick one and then it basically is cycled through again. So now if I pick this, you have opposition, it kind of starts again, but it's basically 3 dialogue prompts in one. And that's not just the technical aspect of that. It's like, that's a topic. And the point of asking that question is actually to get to the bottom of the issue. It's not just to give the player the feeling of having a dialogue option. It's actually about exploring that topic. That might seem like a small distinction, but it leads to the conversations feeling a lot fuller, not just longer, but fuller, as though they actually have a point to them. And there you learn quite a bit about Krogan politics by actually having that focus on that one topic.
I need to go. We'll go over this another time.
Hunt well, Shepard.
Oh, it's not a trip to Tuchanka without watching a pit fight.
Put down some real money,
human. All right, guys, this is your call here. White Blue Hope or Red Brown Thunder? I mean, you guys got to pick here. I think this is peak chat room involvement right here. Is picking which Varen we're gonna bet on. Got a couple for white, one for red. Normally I go White Blue Hope personally. I feel like this is a thinly veiled Paragon Renegade decision, but Red Brown. It's not about whether we win or lose. It's about whether or not we accept this false choice. Depending on how we interpret Katie's vote, we should pick red. Okay, I think the Reds have it. The whole point is that we get to see Varen fight. That's the point. We pay 250 credits to watch a Varen fight. Like a fully cinematic, like multiple camera angle Varen fight. Oh, satisfying.
Watch it, human.
And also, this guy is eating something, which really makes me wonder if that's also Varen. I don't even want to speculate.
Eyes straight ahead.
What do you want, human? Rex told me to be polite. He didn't say you were going to talk to me.
They're kind of like piranha, puppy, fish, shark, dog things? I don't know. Puppies, not necessarily.
I'm looking for a Solarian. The Blood Pack captured him and he was last seen around here.
I heard about that Solarian. Poor bastard. If it's Blood Pack, then Clan Weirlock has him. Sent one of my scouts to check it out, but he never reported back. Guess they got him, too. Chief told me to give you one of the trucks. Just follow the highway to Weirlock's base, if you've got the quads to deal with him in the Blood Pack.
What's Clan Weirlock's reputation, and how are they involved with the Blood Pack?
Tough humps, and they're not friendly like we are. You ever run into the Blood Pack? Mercenary gang. Clan Weirlock started it. One of the only gangs with an off-world presence. They're fanatics, totally devoted to Weirlock Gold.
Whatever they did with your Solarian, Guld's behind it.
I swear, sometimes the Krogan names just feel like people just like threw syllables together. Like it just was not Warlock Gold. Like as long as it's short and just sort of semi-guttural sounding, it's fine.
But the Blood Pack has non-Krogan members, like Vorcha.
Ha, the Vorcha. They're just like the Varen, only they can use guns and don't crap on the floor as often.
As often.
Are the only real members of the Blood Pack. Anyone else is just there to soak enemy fire.
What makes Guld so special?
He's got 2 children. One of them is a girl. Some people think he's got a destiny. Not me.
Still better than Salos.
Quasar.
By a bit.
Lucky
Just by a bit.
I'd ask my cousin for a loan, but I wouldn't swear allegiance to him. Luck. That's all it is. Same for Guld.
Any idea what they're doing with the Solarian?
I assume they wanted to torture him. You don't take somebody home just to kill them. It's messy. Maybe he pissed off the Blood Pack, and they brought him here for special treatment. No skin off my hump what they do with him. One less alien on Tuchanka.
You don't seem to have much love lost for aliens.
Don't get your quads in a twist. If I was gonna kill you, you'd know it. Rex believes we need to unite the Krogan people. I don't think we can do that with off-worlders interfering, but it's not my call.
Thanks for the information.
Anything that gets rid of the damn off-worlders. You can take the truck over there. You need anything else?
Talk to you later.
Give me a reason. Step back, my very...
You killed that Thresher Maw on foot?
Yeah, that's right. This mechanic was always so interesting. It's not that he's not Krogan-like, it's just that he's a mechanic.
Good for you. Now go find something else to do. Those fools brought this Tuchanka back from a skirmish without its combustion manifold. They say it got shot off in the field. You tell me, how can you expect a Tuchanka to run without a combustion manifold?
I've never seen a Krogan mechanic before.
What? You think we kidnap Quarians and make them do the hard work? Not anymore, we don't.
Any idea where I could find a combustion manifold?
Yeah, I can make one. Give me 3 days and a barrel of Ringcall. The one they lost is probably still out in the field. It's too much to expect them to collect it and bring the damn thing back.
I'm going out into the field. If I see a combustion manifold, I'll bring it back with me.
If you did, it would save me a lot of work. Maybe bring back my sunny disposition.
Let me get out of your way.
Don't do me any favors.
Krogan's hit by Genophage, nuclear assaults, civil wars. Still survive.
Yeah, no thanks to you. Or anyone else.
Impressive to see life adapt, continue despite circumstances. Inspiring.
Yeah, again, there were just certain actions in Mass Effect 2. I don't know why they put this in there, but goddamn if I don't do it every time. I don't know. I don't know why. I just go, you know, it's a pie jack. There's a prompt. It says punch. I'm going to do it. I'm going to punch the pie jack. I don't know why.
Should you be in here?
Also, Flukus, I thought the exact same thing about the Tuchanka. It's Tomka, but yeah, I thought Tuchanka also.
As I understand it, Clan Erdnot has a new member. So, you're our new warrior. The shaman gave you the customary upgrades, I assume.
Have I punched the reporter several times? I mean, again, that's like a Mass Effect tradition. But on this playthrough, no, because I actually found that a lot of the middle dialogue options were quite good, so...
You must be working on something important.
I was building the biggest, best offensive ordnance yet. A real ground pounder. But the new clan leader wastes my time with frivolous research. Crop genetics, medicinal improvements. We can buy that stuff from the Solarians.
Solarians created Genophage, I've heard. Still trust them with medicines and agriculture?
Yeah, what else can the Solarians do?
Mordin, I've heard.
It's even more infertile. Actually, wait, forget I said anything.
Enjoy your research.
Yes, move along.
Here we go. Biotic damage. How about that?
This is valuable.
Yeah, between the two, we're gonna take pistol. And as a matter of fact, I'm gonna take shotgun also. So is everyone fine with the monkey punching? I'm gonna go with yes on that one. I'm gonna go yes on everybody being okay with punching the science fiction monkey. I don't know what it is. Yes, it's a bit strange, I suppose, but also oddly satisfying. All right, let's go save the Solarian, shall we?
One wrong step, Shepard.
Yeah, let's not even talk about that one mission in Mass Effect 1. You can massacre some Pyjaks.
Still looking for that Solarian? Or did you just come to waste my time?
Danielle, yeah, that will tend to happen in a Mass Effect 2 stream. There could be some serious Pyjak damage at a moment's notice. Oh, why the heartbeat sound? I think that is because, and I mentioned this a bit, is that the mod, or not? I mean, it's the customization that I made for the custom difficulty. One of the side effects is basically the fact that you start off some missions with 0 health, or close to 0 health. The health regeneration feature is essentially turned off. That is so you have to use metagel packs in order to regen health, because I find that more realistic / immersive. That seems like the most redundant weapons locker ever. Like we just picked a loadout, but all right.
Indeed. Enemies in front. Just the thing to help.
Right.
Indeed. Difficult.
Weakling.
Crap. Whew. That one just barely missed. Nope. Yeah, there's just something super satisfying about charged shotgun. I mean, it's a classic. And also, we should state, just from a pure gameplay standpoint, that biotic charge is probably one of the most unique, like, powers / weapons, period. Like, that you see in most games, to be quite honest. there he goes. that was actually some pretty good distance for. It's not like in Andromeda or Mass Effect 3 where enemies just go flying all the time.
I am Krogan!
What now?
Yeah, carrying around a pack full of fire next to Mordin. Not the best idea. Oh, and Grunts all fortified and everything. Alright, nice. Oh, it's that one. That's right. If you're wondering why I was backtracking. No, I think it's this. It's coming up here soon. Seconds and yep, that'll do it. Oh, that's not good.
I'll put them down.
Crap. No, we should be able to just. Yeah, that'll do. Damn it. Whew, okay, yeah, see, this is where the actual challenge comes into this custom difficulty, is if you're out of cover for any amount of time, it's gonna be a bit dicey. Okay, alright, I think I might be able to pull this out. Yeah, so it's really about using cover. Ah, there you go. There's the manifold. Good. Okay. I always like to help out that mechanic. He just seems like a really level-headed Krogan. Yeah, okay, so someone was asking about Jennifer Hale in Overwatch earlier.
Krogan Hospital. Sturdy, built to withstand punishment. Excellent.
Yeah, also can we talk about how interesting it is to just be able to take away, put your weapon away during the mission? Thanks. I don't know why Mass Effect 3 did away with that. Alright, so here we go. This is where we start to get into some of the deeper Mordin stuff.
That body, human. Need to take a look. Sores, tumors, ligatures showing restraint at wrists and ankles, track marks for repeated injection sites. Test subject, victim of experimentation.
I don't suppose there's a way to tell who this poor bastard was?
No tattoos or ID. Maybe slave or prisoner, maybe merc or pirate. Irrelevant now. Clearly part of Krogan tests to cure Genophage. Humans useful as test subjects, genetically diverse, enables exploration of treatment modalities.
Experimenting on humans? That kind of crap is what makes Cerberus start to seem like a good idea.
Never used humans myself. Disgusting, unethical, sloppy. Used by brute force researchers, not thinkers. No place in proper science. Krogan use of humans, unsurprising.
I imagine you had to do some live subject testing while developing the new Genophage.
No, unnecessary. Limited tests to simulations, corpses, cloned tissue samples. High-level tests on Varen. No tests on species with members capable of calculus. Simple rule, never broke it.
No test on species with members capable of calculus. Interesting. Probably fairly effective.
What can you tell about their experiments from looking at the body?
Position of tumors suggests deliberate mutation of adrenal pineal glands, modifying hormone levels, counterattack on glands hit by genophage. Clever.
Do you think they're close to curing the genophage?
Can't say. Need more data. Conceptually sound, though. Genophage alters hormone levels, could repair damage with hormonal counterattack.
Wouldn't something native to Tuchanka work better? Varen, maybe?
Yes. Human experiments strictly high-level, concept testing. Native Tuchanka fauna likely used later in development stages. Wise to delay use of Varen until necessary. Powerful bite.
How are humans more genetically diverse?
More variable. Peaks and valleys, mutations, adaptations, far beyond other life. Makes humans useful test subjects. Larger reactions to smaller stimuli.
I know we can look much different from each other, but Asari have a wide range of skin tones.
No, ignore superficial appearance, down to genetic code. Biotic abilities, intelligence levels. Can look at random Asari, Krogan, make reasonable guess. Humans, too variable to judge. Outliers in all species, of course. Geniuses, idiots. But human probability curve offers greater overall variety.
That's one of the single most interesting pieces of lore, I think, in the entire franchise is when Mordin comments that humans have, not just in their appearance, but that there's a greater probability curve in a lot of different aspects of them. The implications of that, I don't know if they're ever fully explored, but it really makes for some interesting thinking.
Come on, we still need to find Malin.
Agreed.
or according to Katie's approach, in which BioWare tries to rationalize why the aliens all look the same. I mean, I think it was a little bit of that, but also, I don't know, I feel like there might have been some interesting... I think what they were trying to do was figure out what could actually be unique about people without making them, so to speak, like the center of the galaxy.
I am the speaker for Clan Werlock, Offworlders. You have shed our blood. By rights, you should be dead already. But Werlock Gold, the Chief of Chiefs, has ordered that you be given leave to flee and spread the message of our coming.
If I flee, I might trip over the dozen Krogan I killed to get here. I think I'll take my chance.
That is honestly it's one of the best
lines
that Shepard has.
They were not worthy of remaining near our glorious work. Inside, you will find only hardened blood-packed veterans, tempered by savagery and war, and dedicated to one goal. The Solarian will cure the Genophage, and Clan Werlock will spread across the galaxy in a sea of blood.
Appears they discovered Malin's work. Unfortunate.
If you care about the future of Clan Werlock, you'll hand over Malin. Now.
When we cure the Genophage, Werlock Gold will rule all Krogan. The Krogan rebellions will...
You talk too much.
See? The human cannot hit a simple target.
We've been spotted.
Yeah, see, like, there might not be anything quite that badass in all of Mass Effect Andromeda. You know, I don't want to harp on that. I just want to say that is a freaking badass moment in Mass Effect, and I love it.
Not difficult. Hit.
Krogan!
Also, being able to pause mid-battle really does something. Like, to me, that's actually, as much as I like Andromeda, I think sometimes I still lean a little more towards Mass Effect 3 combat-wise as being the best overall balance. Because to me, having the power wheel pause combat, that's a real, that's an essential part of Mass Effect. And it actually changes it. It's not just a third-person shooter at that point, right? Because otherwise it becomes a third-person shooter with powers. Having that extra strategic element of being able to pause is a big deal. I think you have to layer in more challenge as a result of that, but I also think it's pretty unique to Mass Effect.
Lab's likely through there. Can smell antiseptic, hint of dead flesh.
Just get us there.
The score used here as well is it's just perfect.
Active console may contain useful data. One moment. Genetic sequences. Hormone mutagens is still steady. Protein chains, live tissue, clone tissue. Very thorough. Standard treatment vectors. Avoiding scorched earth immunosuppressants to alter hormone levels. Good. Hate to see that.
What was it like working on the Genophage modification project?
Best years of my life. Wake up with ideas, talk over breakfast, experiments all morning. Statistical analysis in afternoon, run new simulations during dinner, set data runs to cook overnight. Laughter, ego, argument, passion. Galaxy's biggest problem, massive resources thrown at us. Got anything we wanted.
Do you keep in touch with your old team members?
No. All changed with deployment. Made test drop on isolated Krogan clan, hit rest of Tuchanka when results were positive. End of project. Separate ways. Watching it end, watching birth rates drop. Personal. Private. Not appropriate for team.
Most people wouldn't be so casual about developing a sterility plague, Mordin.
Not developing. Modifying. Much more difficult. Working within confines of existing genophage. 100 times the complexity. Errors unacceptable. Could cause total sterility, malignant tumors. Could even reduce effectiveness. Worse than doing nothing. Had to keep Krogan population stable. 1 in 1,000. Perfect target, optimal growth. Like gardening.
You're saying you were working just as hard to keep their population from falling?
Yes. Could have eradicated Krogan. Not difficult. Increased mutation to degrade genetic structure further. Chose not to. Rachni extinction tragic. Didn't want to repeat. All life precious. Universe demands diversity.
How can you agree with using the Genophage, Mordin? Look at what happened to Tuchanka as a result.
State of Tuchanka not due to Genophage. Nuclear winter caused by Krogan before Salarians made first contact. Krogan choices. Refuse truce during Krogan rebellions. Expand after Rachni wars. Splinter after Genophage. Genophage medical, not nuclear. No craters from virus. Damage caused by Krogan, not Salarians. Not me.
Yeah, I mean, I almost don't even want to stop the comment. I'm just going to, again, reiterate, like, the breadth of choice that you have on the dialogue wheel and how good Mordin's writing is and what a good character he is. It's perfect.
So if the Krogan banded together and formed a united government, you'd welcome that?
Yes. United Krogan saved Galaxy. Destroyed Rachni. Genophage not punishment. Simply alters fertility to correct for removal from hostile environment.
We're not going to find Malin staring at consoles. Come on.
Yeah, the A+ from Weeks, 100%. I mean, honestly, the more time goes on and the further away we get, like, the better Mordin ages, essentially.
All enemies accounted for. Dead Krogan, female. Tumors indicate experimentation. No restraint marks. Volunteer. Sterile Werelock female willing to risk procedures. Hoped for cure. Pointless. Pointless waste of life.
I didn't expect you to be disturbed by the sight of a dead Krogan.
What? Why? Because of Genophage work? Irrelevant. No. Causative. Never experimented on live Krogan. Never killed with medicine. Her death not my work. Only reaction to it. Goal was to stabilize population. Never wanted this. Can see it logically. But still unnecessary. Foolish. Waste of life. Hate to see it.
I didn't think you'd had much direct contact with things like this. Did you come to Tuchanka after dropping your plague?
Yearly recon missions. Water, tissue samples. Ensure no mistakes. Superiors offered to carry it on. Refused. Need to see it in person. Need to look. Need to see. Accept it as necessary. See small picture. Remind myself why I run a clinic on Omega. Rest, young mother. Find your gods. Find someplace better.
I didn't expect spirituality from you, Mordin.
Genophage modification project altered millions of lives. Then saw results. Ego, humility, juxtaposition, frailty of life, size of universe. Explored religions after work completed. Different races. No answers. Many questions.
Sounds like you were trying to deal with your guilty conscience. The doctor killed millions.
Modified Genophage project great in scope. Scientifically brilliant. But ethically difficult. Krogan reaction visceral, tragic. Not guilty, but responsible. Trained as doctor. Genophage affects fertility. Doesn't kill. Still. Caused this. Hard to see big picture behind pile of corpses.
Can you really just rationalize it all away? How do you justify it?
Wheel of life. Popular Solarian concept. Similar to human Hinduism in focus on reincarnation. Appealing to see life as endless. Fix mistakes in next life. Learn, adapt, improve. Refuse to believe life ends here. Too wasteful. Have more to offer. Mistakes to fix. Cannot end here. Could do so much more.
If you need this much soul searching to get over it, maybe the Genophage was wrong.
Had to be done. Rachni wars, Krogan rebellions, all pointed to Krogan aggression. So many simulations. Effects of Krogan population increase. All pointed to war. Extinction. Genophage or genocide. Save galaxy from Krogan. Save Krogan from galaxy.
It's incredible. It's incredible how honest and earnest and sort of down to the floor they struggle with this issue. It's an incredibly robust and intricate, multifaceted dilemma to deal with fictionally. You sort of need science fiction in order to construct an alien species that has these sort of problems. It's a catch-22 essentially, right? The Krogan are going to destroy themselves and probably a lot of other people in this never-ending attempt at conquest. So we may hamper them in this incredibly crippling, severe way, but that might actually be the way to save their species and also save a lot of other people by doing a really nasty thing and sabotaging their fertility rates. That is such a dilemma. And again, it sort of needs science fiction in order to be constructed. And then instead of just constructing it and sort of allowing it to sit in the background as a what if or a vague moral dilemma, they personalize it. They personalize it through Mordin, and then they have him deal with it in such a logical but also earnest and in some sense like personal and emotional way. It's just damn good writing. It's damn good writing from a world building standpoint and also from a character standpoint. And I'm not saying that there aren't really good moments in say in Mass Effect Andromeda, but again, the more time goes on, the more I appreciate Mordin in particular, the Mass Effect 2-3 sort of arc that he has, and just the original trilogy in general overall. But man, Mordin is just such a finely written character, and again, I just appreciate the fact that they don't skirt away from this issue. They conceptualize the tough issue, they create an incredibly intelligent but not robotic character, and they give him a personal attachment to this moral dilemma, and then they make him go through the paces, not in one quest, not in one game, but across multiple games. They they force him to reckon with this, and it's incredible.
You could have cured the Genophage instead. Brought hope to the Krogan. They'd have rejoiced.
Assumes human reaction. Krogan stimulus response different. Harsh environment. Take chance to fight. Flee. Would have caused chaos in Tuchanka. Victor would have war economy. Bloodthirsty army. Galactic expansion only logical outcome. More war. Genophage saved lives. War would have ended.
So you're willing to sterilize a species based on the evidence of a few simulations?
Yes. Millions of data points. Years of arguments. Countless scenarios. All noted Krogan fragmentation as dangerous. No unified culture to support repopulation. Would have been war. Turians and humans destroying Krogan utterly. Genophage was better. Saved lives.
And you know what's so interesting about this is, like, he is right up to this point. I think what he says so famously in 3 is when he says, I made a mistake, he didn't account for the leadership of Eve and Rex. But I'm so inclined to say that he's right in this sense. As hard of a decision as it was up to this point with this amount of information, he's right.
You put it that way, you did the right thing. Not many would have the guts to look at the results and own it.
Not easy. Sometimes wish I wasn't as intelligent. Choice would have fallen on someone else. Not my problem. Fools wish. Had to be me. Others might have gotten it wrong. Ready to go, Shepard.
Had to be me. Others might have gotten it wrong.
Done for the moment.
Oh wait, yeah, no wait. John's saying this is why I hate Mordin. This is actually kind of interesting. I'm like, we're seeing a little bit of a distinction pop up in the chat here.
This should come in handy.
Here's the missing scout.
You killed the Bloodpack guards.
Not Bloodpack, not member of Clan Weirlock. Wrong clan markings.
I'm a nerd, not scout. Weirlock guards got me. Brought me here.
You don't look so good. Are you injured?
They gave me things. Injections, mostly. Sometimes gas. Make me sick. Fever. Aches. Can't keep food down. They're fixing the Genophage. I'm making a sacrifice. For all Krogan.
You're safe now. Just get back to your camp. I'll deal with the Weirlock.
You can't do that. You can't stop them. Don't you understand? They're curing the Genophage. They're gonna make it all better. They have to keep doing the tests.
Caution, Shepard. Patient unstable, susceptible, brainwashed.
Why do you want them to keep doing the tests?
This is my fault. I got caught. Wasn't strong enough. Not good enough. This is the best I can do. This is all I can do. I'm not big enough to have a real shot with the females. I'll never have kids of my own. if I help undo the Genophage, then I mattered.
Millions of children will be born. Werelock children. They're going to destroy the other clans.
But... no. No, they said I was helping Erdnot.
If you want to help Erdnot, you need to get back there. But it would take a real badass to make it back to camp while injured.
I can do it.
You? I said a badass, not some scout wandering around Quarian with a tummy ache.
A Quarian with a tummy ache. Nothing like Shepard to give a borderline cheesy motivational
Get back
speech.
there and show them what you're worth. Go. Go.
It works. It's not as though every piece of dialogue was excellent in the Mass Effect original trilogy. People like to nitpick with Andromeda, but it's like, yeah, the original trilogy had its moments as well. But it worked somehow. Not quite sure how exactly, but somehow it always worked.
All enemies accounted for.
Shepard, I'm detecting crates ahead that are holding unstable materials. A misplaced shot could cause a significant explosion.
Or a well-placed shot. Explosives useful. Not difficult. Thought I was harmless, did you?
I'll put them down. Yeah.
Simple enough.
Yeah, that Viper sniper rifle is pretty ridiculous in ME2. They might have needed to add a little more recoil. Ah, crap.
One down.
Change weapon. Got it.
Killed that one. Super alive.
Oh, great, this one. Yeah, let's do a little lean on that.
Can't reach the target.
With you.
Yeah, I think I briefly mentioned that I am a bit of a compulsive saver, or at least I have been traditionally. I'm actually not even saving that much while streaming right now, but yeah. I do tend to save quite a bit. In this case, I don't remember if I had determined that ahead of time, but I'm thinking that the roleplay for this Shepherd, I'm gonna lean towards we're saving Malin's data.
This is valuable.
Malin, alive, unharmed. No signs of restraint, no evidence of torture. Don't understand.
For such a smart man, Professor, you always had trouble seeing evidence that disagreed with your preconceptions. How long will it take you to admit that I'm here because I wish to be here?
He wasn't kidnapped. He came here voluntarily to cure the Genophage.
Impossible. Whole team agreed. Project necessary.
How was I supposed to disagree with the great Dr. Solus? I was your student. I looked up to you.
Experiments performed here. Live subjects, prisoners, torture and executions. You're doing?
We've already got the blood of millions on our hands, Doctor. If it takes a bit more to put things right, I can deal with that.
You talked about killing, but the Genophage isn't lethal. It only affects fertility rates.
Krogan fight over fertile females. They become mercenaries or pirates because they see no alternative. They would be thriving in a cultural renaissance now had we not decided that this is what they deserved.
Inaccurate. Krogan population resulted in war. Simulations were clear.
You honestly think the experiments you did here are justified?
We committed cultural genocide. Nothing I do will ever be justified. The experiments are monstrous because I was taught to be a monster.
Mordin, did you ever perform experiments like this?
No. Never taught you this, Malin.
So your hands are clean. What does it matter if the ground is stained with the blood of millions? You taught me that the end justified the means. I will undo what we did, Professor. The only way I know how.
What happens if the Genophage is cured and the Krogan expand again? That'll be on your head.
We justified this atrocity by saying the Krogan would cause havoc and war if their population recovered. But look at the galaxy. Batarian attacks in the Traverse, Geth attacks in the Citadel. Is this a more peaceful universe? The assault on your Eden Prime might never have happened if we had let the Krogan recover. We'll never know.
How would a Krogan population explosion have done anything to stop Saren and the Geth?
An increased Krogan population would have forced the Council to take steps, likely involving colony rights in the Traverse. The Turian fleets would be vigilant for any military activity in the area. They might have stopped the Geth at Eden Prime.
Supposition. Impossible to be certain.
Don't you see? We tried to play God and we failed. We only made things worse, and I'm going to fix it.
And the even more curious thing about Weeks and the naming it as a chat is making reference to how Weeks basically has two characters with the same name, and according to him, it was totally after the fact, coincidental. Like, like Solus means pride in Dragon Age, and that was just sort of like a theme of the character. I'm totally butchering the explanation, but I remember him saying that like the people that they hired to work on the Elven language explained to him like the meaning of the name, and then like that was pretty much it.
Why work with Clan Werelock? And how did you access the Genophage data?
The data was easy to obtain. We all still had clearance. We were heroes. All I had to do was ask. As for the Werelock, they were the only clan with both the resources and the commitment.
Urdnot has a larger camp than Werelock. Why not use them?
Urdnot Rex is too soft. He wasn't willing to do the experiments I needed. It's Urdnot's loss and Werelock's gain. Their clan will be the first to recover from the crime we committed.
It's so interesting too that Malin and Mordin are basically, they're basically both dealing with their guilt, right? And Malin is just trying to make amends for something that he feels guilty over, something that he thinks is wrong. But Mordin is just going about it in a way that's a lot more logical, I think is what it ultimately comes down to. Like, Mordin is waiting for the evidence to actually support undoing the Genophage, and that's what basically happens in Mass Effect 3.
Malin clearly doesn't need rescuing. What do you want to do?
Have to end this.
You can't face the truth, can you? Can't admit that your brilliant mind led you to commit an atrocity!
Unacceptable experiments. Unacceptable goals. Won't change. No choice. Have to kill you.
Wait, you don't need to do this, Mordin. You're not a murderer.
That head nod, though.
Not a murderer. Thank you, Shepard. Finished, Malin. Get out. No Weirlock left. Project over.
Aren't you worried that he'll start his research again?
No. Locking this unit. Special task group can cut access to old data. Could start from scratch. Decades of work, though. Didn't teach you everything I knew.
What if he talks to more Krogan? Tells the public about the modified Genophage project?
Special tasks group good at covering tracks. No proof. Weirlock willingness to work with Salarian, unusual. Other Krogan will kill him.
You heard the professor. Get out before he changes his mind.
Where am I supposed to go, Professor?
Don't care. Try Omega. Can always use another clinic.
The Krogan didn't deserve what we did to them, Professor. The Genophage needs to end.
Not like this. Apologies, Commander. Misunderstood mission parameters. No kidnapping. My mistake. Thank you.
Don't worry about me, Mordin. How are you doing?
Should have killed him. Wanted to. Easier than listening. Easier for him, too. Experiments indicate how far he's fallen. Expected it from Krogan. Not one of mine.
Maybe you'll remember that the next time you're discussing the ethics of the Genophage.
Yes. So many variables. Stress responses. Impossible to truly predict. Something to think about. Malin's research. Only loose end. Could destroy it. Closure. Security. Still valuable, though.
If you think it could be useful, why not hang on to it?
Worked for years to create modified Genophage. Should destroy this. Malin's work could cure Genophage. Don't know. Effects on Krogan. Effects on Galaxy. Too many variables. Too many variables.
Keep the data. Better to have it and not need it.
Point taken, Shepard. Capturing data. Wiping local copy. Still years away from cure, but closer than starting from scratch. Done. Ready to go. Ready to be off Tuchanka. Anywhere else. Maybe somewhere sunny.
I'd like to look around a bit more.
I can't remember if there is another... No, there's just hacking the computer, right? Okay. What the heck, might as well. Emmy is fun and all, but damn, it makes you think if that ain't the truth, for real. Alright, so that does it for Mordin and Grunts loyalty missions. We are about 2 hours in, but it is still technically N7 day. I don't know. What do you guys think? Could you do a little more? Do you guys want to stick around? I understand some people are coming in and out as we're going. I assume maybe, I don't know. Do we have some folks here that aren't normal watchers, that were just kind of, it's N7 day, you were just checking it out, seeing if somebody is streaming? I'd be interested to know if this is, first time watching a stream for anyone and you were just kind of browsing around looking for an N7 day stream. I can go for a little bit longer if we want to maybe go and pick up Tali, and we've already done some ME2 squad mate specific things. It would be kind of nice to do something with one of the OG ME1 squad mates. So yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like we can go a little bit longer, and it wouldn't be too crazy. Let's go back and give that one Krogan the engine manifold while we decide, and then I think we're done with Tuchanka.
Someday we'll get off this farm and show those Quarians who fall.
Clan Erdnot has increased in strength after the destruction of Clan Werlock. Based on population profiles, Clan Erdnot has adopted surviving members of Clan Werlock. Mostly women and children.
Ah, intelligent move. Surprising.
Child. Let's go tackle the Baron. He was good. Fast. Strong.
Of course he was. Any son of yours must be.
They went back to the one more win in the pits, and I'm...
My scout made it back. We've got him at the tent. Doesn't remember much beyond.
So I actually did Shadow Broker. That was one of the last things I did before I sort of put this playthrough on pause. So I actually have done Shadow Broker already.
Saves me having to train another one.
Ah, well, that's right. So we do have some different regions, different time zones in here. So we're saying 3 hours past N7 day. That's true. At least where I'm streaming from, it is still N7 day. So.
Talk to you later.
Place your bet on the pits, human. We won't regret it.
If you're gonna stand there, make yourself useful. I can't do anything until I build a replacement manifold for this damn Tomka.
I found a combustion manifold out in the field. Is this what you need?
So N7 day is November 7th, which is essentially the Mass Effect unofficial holiday, pretty much. N7 is a Special Forces designation within Mass Effect, and it's basically it's become the unofficial logo of Mass Effect. So somebody thought, November 7th, we'll just make that N7 day, and pretty much since Mass Effect has come out, it's always been the day of the year in which, you know, people kind of reminisce or reflect on Mass Effect, and typically there's been some big announcement, or if there's a new game coming out, they try and release a trailer on November 7th. This year, not a lot of news since the series is sort of on a bit of a lull, but yeah, it was a good opportunity to stream some classic Mass Effect.
Shepard, what can I do for you, my friend?
I need to go. We'll go over this another time.
Hunt well, Shepard.
Yeah, John, sometimes I forget you're all the way on the other side of the world over there.
Glad Erdnot grudge with us.
We're willing to consider new directions. That's what makes it make Erdnot.
Yeah, I don't think the mission to pick up Tali should be too crazy. Plus, you know, a little bit of Cal Rieger can go a long way. So I think what we can do is I need a little bit of break, maybe like a quick little 3-minute, 5-minute break, and then I can jump back in and we'll go pick up Tali, do her recruitment mission. And depending on how that goes, we might be able to call it a night after that one. If that sounds good to everybody, we'll take a small break and then come back and do Tali's recruitment mission. Although I am curious, I haven't asked the sort of cliche question yet, as it is N7 day, and that is, what is your favorite overall Mass Effect moment? Favorite moment in the series, and I'd be interested to see what kind of responses we get. But I'll be back here shortly in about 5 minutes, and then we'll pick up Tali. Ooh, okay, and we're back. Man, 5 minutes goes by quick. Doesn't it, though? Rachni Queen and the Thorian. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Yeah. The Rachni Queen is one where, I don't know, I just feel like I've fallen into the same sort of repetitious thing. I always kind of get rid of the Rachni Queen at this point, but all right, we said we're going to go and pick up Tali because that's kind of a thing that you would do.
How may I help you?
I think we can maybe go and talk to Mordin and Grunt real quick though to kind of post game on their quests.
Private terminal. Jack would like to see you down in her hidey hole on the engineering deck. Thane would like to see you down in life support.
Also, it's hilarious that Kelly calls it her hidey hole.
Observation on the crew deck. Anything else, Commander?
That'll be all.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Still hard to believe Malin betrayed me. Betrayed my work. Disgusted by his actions. Proud of his nerve, though. Almost thought he lacked backbone. Hope he finds something new. Better goal, better purpose. Fewer torture tests.
You're really at peace with what happened?
Yes, of course. Can't change what happened. Life continues. Back to mission, back to work. Become like Malin otherwise. Stellarian emotional processing faster than other species. Has to be. Short-lived culture can't spend time reminiscing.
Yeah, this is kind of the point that I was making earlier, right? They were both trying to process some kind of grief. It just seems like Mordin is almost like delightfully logical. I know that there's this trope in science fiction or in lots of different fiction about the scientist who's so logical that, you know, it's basically your Spock dilemma where they're so logical that they lack an emotional side, and it's always depicted as like a really bad thing. But to me, Mordin is almost like the most positive depiction of being supremely logical, where it's like he's actually emphasizing that if you're not, sometimes that emotional weight can sort of tear you apart the way it did with Malin.
Malin didn't seem like he processed his emotional response. He was obsessed with the Genophage.
True, didn't mean to imply that Solarians were healthy.
Tango with Garrus, I agree,
choices,
great moment. The shooting contest on top of the Presidium in Mass Effect 3, also great moment. So a couple of Garrus moments there. But yeah, I agree with both of those. The bottle shooting is definitely one of my favorites also.
Can't sustain courtship emotions. Or perhaps based on reproduction. Unsure.
So you really don't feel bad at all about what happened on Tuchanka?
Yes, correct. Now at least. Greatly distressed at the time. Stages of grief, loss, anger, rationalization. Dealt with it. Most issues settled on Tuchanka, some on shuttle back to Normandy.
What about Malin's data on the Genophage? His attempts at a cure?
What about it? Have it over there somewhere. Not
Best Codex added. Host is by far Jinx. I mean, who would disagree with that? Honestly, who amongst us would disagree
Wasted enough time already.
with that assessment?
To do. Talk later.
I love these lab side chats, so to speak, with Mordin. Okay, dang, we got plenty of upgrades as well. Have I not unlocked the 920 cane yet? That might be something to do. Okay. Yeah, we're bringing this on the next mission. Thank you. Alright,
Samara wants a moment with you, Commander.
God, Samara too? Man, the Shepard is just getting really busy right now. Oh, you know what? Let's go get some Joker commentary, actually.
Commander.
Wait, what? Does he not have any comments on what just happened?
Good for now. Fractured my thumb on the mute, but I think I made my point.
All right, all right.
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last, Grunts is not a stabilizing element, Commander. No surprise, Mordin acts superior to everyone, like he's got tenure at FU. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
All right, Tali's been out there getting cooked by that sun long enough. Let's go save her. There we go. All the way out here on the far rim. Let's go. Well, we're definitely taking Garrus. That's a no-brainer. And then who else are we thinking should we bring to drop down onto the planet here? I kind of feel like Mordin might be interesting, but then again, maybe you guys want to see see a little bit of Thane, see a little bit of Jack, etc. Someone we haven't seen so far yet. I will say the current Jack build is pretty OP. You cannot romance Samara. You can sort of, you know, you can push it slightly past platonic, if I can speak right. You can push it slightly past platonic, but it's not like a full-blown romance, no. Yes, I do have Kasumi, who is ever a glass cannon. I think Kasumi might be my least used character, period, even amongst DLC characters. Like, Zaid is at least pretty tanky, but Kasumi is a total glass cannon. In lieu of any strong preferences, I'm going to lean Mordin on this one, just because I kind of feel he's an interesting choice given the scientific goings on. All right, I'm rolling Mordin on this one. Really, the main thing is you got to bring Garrus if we're coming to rescue Tali. Oh yeah, neural shock for sure. There we go. And yeah, we're gonna bring this bad boy. Okay. All right, we're set. John, I agree on Kasumi. I love Kasumi as a character. I just wish she had been more useful in combat.
There is considerable geth activity and an environmental hazard. Solar output has overwhelmed Hastrom's protective magnetosphere. Exposure to direct sunlight will damage your shields.
Also, the gameplay concept of the light damaging shields and everything. That's it's small, but it is a unique element that I wish we would have seen things a little bit more like this. I know Andromeda technically has some environmental hazards like this, but this felt more like a puzzle that you were playing on this specific mission.
Need to avoid sunlight. Keep to shaded areas.
That's all of them.
I like how I put my rifle away and Garrus goes, "That's all of them." I'm like, what? Which ones, bro? There's nobody there.
Incoming dropship.
All right, here we go.
There we go. You got it.
Yeah, I don't know. Even though the combos aren't nearly as visually dramatic in Mass Effect 2, I don't know. There was something that seemed like maybe they were just too common in Andromeda, but I think 3 was perfect, right? 3 was perfect as far as the combos, but 2 was not bad. 2 was kind of what started that as being a mainstay of the series.
Understood.
Alright, let's just all go long range here since this is... Alright, how you like them apples? I see you. I see you. Come on. That's how you win a shooting contest with Garrus. Yeah, not for nothing, but I'm kind of on fire right now. The sniper rifle is feeling good right now. Although I can hear...
Find an alternate path. We're roasting out.
You're roasted out here, bro. Calm down.
This should come in handy.
Oh, that's where it is. Okay, there you go. Crap. Ooh, alright.
Just nothing to help.
Alright, now this last bit is tricky because there's sun and there's enemies over there. Yeah, fire.
Burn nicely.
Of course.
You got it. Can't get a lock. I'll get there.
Oh, there we go. Tempest acquired. Now, man, Tempest is one of the best weapons in the series, but I think it's a little bit better in 3, but it's quite good all around. And let's talk to Cal Rieger a bit.
This is Commander Shepard of the Normandy. Can we provide assistance?
Patch your radio into channel 617 Theta. We're on a stealth mission, high risk. We found what we were after. The Geth found us. They've got us pinned down. Can't get to our ship. Can't transmit data through the solar radiation.
What's the status of your team? How many of you are left?
We're a small squad, dozen Marines plus the science team. We're down to half strength now. Made the synthetic bastards pay for it, though.
What brought you this deep into Geth-controlled space?
You're asking the wrong person, Shepard. I just point and shoot. Something about the sun.
I loved Cal Rieger. I always wished that he had been a recruitable squad mate. I thought he was an excellent fleshing out of Quarian culture in general. In the limited time that he has, which is really saying something. Just overall by his demeanor, the Quarians were really in danger of being sort of one note. Not necessarily just because of Tali, but Cal Rieger really fleshed him out nicely.
Any idea where the Geth came from?
One of the patrol ships found us. Dropships started raining Geth down on our heads before we could get off world. Systems under Geth control. We knew they made planetary sweeps periodically. We hoped going low emissions would hide us.
Do we have to worry about the Geth sending in reinforcements?
Even just questions like these, being able to actually probe as to what the situation is, again, it adds to that RPG depth while keeping it cinematic and also really not breaking up the action too much.
How are you holding up? We can be there in a few minutes.
Take it slow and careful. Direct sunlight fries your shields all to hell. We're bunkered down at base camp across the valley. I left Tali's at a secure shelter that double back to hold the choke point. Getting Tali out safely is our top priority. If you can extract her, we'll keep them off you.
You've got confirmation that the Geth haven't reached Tali yet?
Affirmative. Left my best men with her. When you get here, you can talk to her on the comm. Every Marine on this rock is sworn to protect Tali's. As long as one of us is still drawing air, she'll be safe.
Hold position. We'll hit their back ranks.
Wait! Watch your ass! We got a dropship coming in. Crap, doorway's blocked. Grab the demo charges in the buildings nearby. Use them to clear a path.
Shepard, I have scanned the area and located the demolition charges the Quarian commander mentioned.
Put it on the radar.
You will need both sets of charges to clear the rubble.
Enjoy.
Neutralize.
Alright, charges should
ready
be
to
this
fight.
way. And I don't think there's too much sunlight trying to cook us when we go this way now. It's mainly just more gas.
Affirmative.
Look sharp. Close to target.
Concussive shock. Ready.
Forget me. Doesn't matter.
Crap.
Shock ready.
Not good.
Burn nicely.
Oh wow, okay. Didn't expect that one. But yeah, that'll happen from time to time. I think somebody said when I was describing the difficulty, the custom difficulty that I made, that it was a lot of dying. It's not necessarily a lot of dying. It's just the occasional bit of dying. It's actually a decent challenge. If you try and run and gun, there would be a lot of dying, but I tend to stick to cover pretty well.
Shepard, I have scanned the area.
That being said, you're going to have some dying from time to time.
Put it on my radar.
You will need both sets of charges to clear
And this is one where there is plenty of cover, but you can tell, like when I went into that room, that was a bit over aggressive. Like I probably should have just charged in. I used the biotic charge to get into that room, and then I was kind of in a bad position. And yeah, here, I mean, if they're going to be funneling out of there, might as well go back to the sniper rifle. Garrett's just kind of
heading to cover
back there.
Moving out of line of fire.
There we go, that's more like it. Just kind of play at a distance. There we go. Much better.
You got it. Firing a high impact shot. No more targets.
Oh, thanks, Garrett. No more targets. No, apparently there are more targets. Yeah, there's just a whole ton of them in here. Oh, crap.
Fire in the hole. Affirmative.
All right, now they're dead. Garrus.
We need a core sample to get a timeline on the rate of radiation increase, but our equipment keeps dying on us. Shepard once used a mining laser to clear some rubble back on Therum. Maybe I can do something similar with demolition charges.
Oh, great. Let's see. Overload, a little bit of fire, and probably want to go back to sniper rifle. Now that I have some more ammo. And also, you guys zap that drone. Whew. This Viper sniper rifle is just ridiculous. And I think in 3 they do add way more recoil. Same thing in Andromeda, but in 2 it's just so stable. This is actually when it gets pretty good. The combat starts to ramp up pretty damn well in
We head to the left, we can flank them.
places like this.
Not a problem. Affirmative. Understood.
We'll stay close.
Boy, that radiation is not fun. Okay. Ah, crap. Alright, I think the Geth are finally dead and we can finally blow some shit up. I think, as weird as it sounds to say, I don't even remember it being that many Geth. God, that's a lot of Geth.
Neutralized all hostiles.
Yeah, we did.
Excellent. Should be enough.
Time to run.
Move quickly. Large impact radius.
There's two words you don't expect to hear together.
Colony is deep in Geth territory. Why would Quarians come here now?
Our ancestors walked these halls with uncolored heads. The sun must have been normal back then. So much space, walls of stone. It's amazing. I wish my friends could see it. I wish Shepard were here.
Tali, it's Shepard.
Shepard? I'm not complaining, but you show up at the strangest times. What are you doing in the middle of Geth space?
Jessica, what did you miss? Well, we killed the Thresher Maw. We saved Malin's data, got to know Mordin a little bit better, and now we're trying to save Tali from the sun, pretty much.
I was in the neighborhood. I thought you might need a hand.
Thanks for coming, Shepard. It means a lot to hear your voice. Call Rieger and what's left of the Marines got me into the observatory. From where you are, it's through the door and across the field. I got the data I needed and I'm safe for now, but I've got a lot of Geth outside.
What's this research you're after?
It's about this world's sun. It's aging faster than it should. I can tell you more about it once we've got fewer Geth shooting at us.
Is anyone else still with you, or are you alone out there?
Rieger had a team of Marines covering me when I ran for the observatory. At least some of them are still alive. I can hear them firing at the Geth outside.
Would it help if I brought in the Normandy?
Doubtful. These buildings are centuries old. If you bring down heavy fire, this whole place could collapse on us.
It looks like somebody sealed the door against the Geth and the console is damaged. Can you get it open on your end?
Let me see. Yes, I can do it. Here. Should be unlocked now.
You know, I was never greatly upset by the Tali face reveal. I mean, it was not done well, but it never upset me nearly as much as, you know, by the time I got done playing Mass Effect 3, it was like, you know, I was upset about other things at the time, unfortunately. And I'll tell you what, I mean, on the topic of the ending of Mass Effect 3, which I've discussed before on the podcast and whatnot, I've come to appreciate the end of Mass Effect 3 over the years. It's not perfect, and it's clear that they were telling a story that got a little bit away from them, and that they could never succinctly end all of those threads in a fully satisfying way. But I think that what they did was okay, and ultimately, I think what really helped make it okay, in some sense, was the Citadel DLC. Once we had that, we had like the real ending that we always wanted.
Of course.
I'm on it.
Dang, that Geth Prime dropped a ton of ammo clips.
My pleasure.
Mass Effect Happy Ending mod. Yes, 100% that. Plus, there's a mod that makes the Citadel DLC party play as an epilogue. So you play through the modded ending, and then it goes straight into the Citadel DLC and edits it so it takes out references, like it takes out lines of dialogue that reference the Reaper War, and it's fantastic. That is basically my headcanon now.
Switch up. Change weapon.
And also destroy ending. Destroy, destroy, destroy. I don't know what you guys pick if we want to have that synthesis discussion, control discussion, but for me it's destroy every time.
Definitely like old times. Enemies on our right.
Over here! Get to cover! Squad Leader Cal Rieger, Migrant Fleet Marines. We talked on the radio before that dropship arrived. I still got no idea why you're here. This ain't the time to be picky. Tali's inside over there. Geth killed the rest of my squad, and they're trying to get to her. Best I've been able to do is draw their attention.
Are you sure she's still alive?
The observatory is reinforced. Even the Geth will need time to get through it. And it's hard to hack a door when someone's firing rockets at you. The Geth are near platoon strength, but the Colossus is the worst part. It's got a repair protocol. Huddles up and fixes itself. I can't get a clear shot while it's down like that. I tried to move in closer, and one of the bastards punched a shot clean through my suit.
How bad is your suit damaged?
Combat seals clamped down to isolate contamination, and I'm swimming in antibiotics. Geth might get me, but I'm not gonna die from an infection in the middle of a battle. That's just insulting.
What can you tell me about the battlefield?
Right side's got a catwalk with a sniper perch. You could wreak some havoc from there. None of my men made it past the Geth. Middle's got cover, but the damn Colossus has a clear shot at you the whole time, and you've got Geth coming in from both sides. The left gives you some cover from the Colossus, but your ass is hanging out for the Geth. That's how I got shot.
See, stuff like this is where, again, Mass Effect was really unique, and in particular Mass Effect 2, because what we're doing now is a distinctly role-playing game thing, right? This is an RPG thing. Have a conversation with someone to gain information and devise a strategy that will actually pan out, not just based on your stats, but based on what actions you take. that's not really an action game thing. That's not really a third-person shooter thing. That's an RPG thing, and then you get to execute it out in a third-person shooter setting. That's really cool, right? Like, that's a really unique element of Mass Effect that I don't think is as strong as it used to be.
Any ideas on how to deal with the Colossus?
Standard protocol with armature-class units is to sabotage the shields and whittle it down, you know? Kill it with bug bites. But the repair protocol blows that plan to hell. We try to wear it down, it just huddles up and fixes itself. So whatever we do has to scrap that bastard fast. Probably means getting up close, past that cover.
We need to get to Tali. Got any ideas?
Just one. I'm not moving so well, but I can still pull a trigger. And I got a rocket launcher that the sun hasn't fried yet. You move in close. I'll keep the Colossus busy. Maybe even drop its shields. Luck, you'll be able to finish it off.
Good luck, Rieger. Let's go shoot some gas.
Keep us alive. Say hi to Tali for me.
Heads up! This should slow him down. One down.
How do you like that?
Just think to help.
Pathetic son of a...
Not difficult.
Walked right into that one. Crap, crap.
For combat.
Oh. God, this thing is taking forever to charge, and now I got Geth coming up behind me. Alright, not the best strategy.
Kill that one. Just nothing to help. Forget it. Doesn't matter. Not difficult.
I'll take the shot.
How do you like that?
Yep, that'll do. Ah. God damn. Now that's what I call on 7-day.
Just a second. I locked the door to keep more Geth from getting... There, that should do it. Just let me finish this download. Thank you, Shepard. If not for you, I would never have made it out of this room. This whole mission has been a disaster. I wish I'd joined you back on Freedom's Progress, but I couldn't let anyone take my place on something this risky.
A lot of Quarians lost their lives here. Was it worth it?
I don't know, Shepard. It wasn't my call. The Admiralty Board believed the information here was worth sacrificing all our lives for. I have to believe that they know what's best.
I didn't ask what some admiral thought. I asked what you thought.
A lot of people died here. Some of them were my friends. All of them were good at their jobs. That damn data better be worth it. The price was too high.
What can you tell me about your research here?
Haystrom's sun is destabilizing. Back when this was a Quarian colony, it was a normal star. It shouldn't change that quickly.
Any idea what's destabilizing the sun?
If I had to guess, I'd say that it was dark energy affecting the interior of the star. The effect is similar to when stars blow off mass to enter a red giant phase. But Haystrom's sun is far too young for this to be natural.
Whatever the reason, I'm glad I could help. Once you deliver that data, I could use you on the Normandy.
I promised to see this mission through. I did. I can leave with you and send the data to the fleet. And if the admirals have a problem with it, they can go to hell. I just watched the rest of my team die.
Maybe not the whole rest of your team, ma'am.
Rieger, you made it.
Your old captain's as good as you said. Damn Colossus never stood a chance.
If need be, the Normandy can get you out.
Well, yeah, because we nuked the damn thing.
Damage our ship. As long as we get out of here before reinforcements show up, we'll be fine.
Actually, I won't be going with you. I'm joining Commander Shepard.
I'll pass the data to the Admiralty port and let them know what happened. She's all yours now, Shepard. Keep her safe.
Yeah, no, Tali's textures are legit pretty good. I mean, Mordin's are really good too. The whole squad has modded HD textures, but Tali's really, really look good.
Cerberus saw footage of you in action, Tali Zora. We're looking forward to having you on the team. Your engineering expertise will really benefit the mission.
I don't know who you are, but Cerberus threatened the security of the migrant fleet. Don't make nice.
You don't have to like them, Tali, but we're on the same side this time.
I assumed that you were undercover, Shepard. Maybe even planning to blow Cerberus up. If that's the case, I'll loan you a grenade. Otherwise, I'm here for you, not for them.
If it helps, check out the Normandy while you're here. We've gotten a few upgrades.
I'll get Tali Zora the necessary security clearance to access our systems.
Please do. I can't be part of your team if I don't know how the ship works.
Yeah, Jacob has his moments of being an ass, but I do like Jacob. I'd say more than the average Mass Effect fan. I would say personally.
I'll be in engineering.
Don't forget to introduce yourself to Edie, the ship's new artificial intelligence.
Commander, you've received a new message at your
Alright, well,
terminal.
since we do have Tali now, I think I am going to drop down there, have a little bit of a conversation with Tali, and then that'll kind of get us right up to a nice round 3-hour number, and then we can call it a night on that.
I hear that Rupert is actually cooking some good meals lately.
Yeah, right. That scunner couldn't serve a good haggis if his life depended on it.
But all haggis tastes like ass anyway.
Aye, but in the right hands, it could taste like mighty fine ass.
I'm so glad we got down here for a little bit of Daniels and Donnelly, where we can find that classic Mass Effect 2 line. In the right hands, it can taste like some mighty fine ass.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
How's the Normandy running?
Say what you will about Cerberus. They know how to build ships. The Normandy's running even better than before. I don't know if it can stand up to a collector attack, though. I'm researching some ideas that might help.
Is the new Normandy giving you any trouble?
Please, Shepard, I'm a Quarian. Give me a chunk of scrap metal, a circuit board, and some element 0, and I'll have it making precision jumps. I was worried about working with Cerberus engineers, but they know what they're doing, and they've been very polite.
Can you do anything to give the Normandy an edge over a collector ship?
Definitely. With the right supplies, I can fortify our shields. The collectors cut through the Normandy's barriers immediately last time. My upgrades might give us a better chance. Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
We didn't really have time to chat while taking out Gaz on Haystrom, did we? I can't believe so many people died. Thank you again for getting Rieger out alive. All for data about stars blowing up. I hope the Admiralty Board gets some use out of it.
Have you heard any word about Cal Rieger? Did he survive his injuries?
He sent me a message. It looks like he'll make a full recovery. Anytime you get a suit puncture, it's a matter of luck. Rieger got out with a relatively
and also,
minor
you know what?
infection.
I forgot to mention. Glad I remembered this before the stream was over. The only official news that we got was Mass Effect Andromeda getting the Xbox One X Enhanced Edition. There are also a bunch of updates to some of the most popular Mass Effect 3 mods. So for those that don't know, Mass Effect 3 has gotten a pretty decent modding scene for a game that was considered unmoddable when it came out. And there are some really good mods, including the Happy Ending mod, but not just the Happy Ending mod. There's the Expanded Galaxy mod, which adds a bunch of different functionality. You can temporarily have some Mass Effect 2 squad mates because they were in there for the little arena section of the Citadel 3 DLC, and it does some workarounds so you can have them during the main game. There are several different overhaul mods for Mass Effect 3, and I believe a bunch of them coordinated to have updates come out today on N7 as a sort of N7 celebration. So if you do play Mass Effect 3, if watching this has made you want to go through and do a Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3 playthrough, definitely check out the Nexus if you play on PC, and check out some of those updated mods.
Tell me about the fleet's Admiralty Board.
It's one of two major political powers among my people. The admirals make decisions related to defense or needing immediate action. They also handle major criminal charges, like treason. The other political power is the Conclave, a group of representatives from each ship. They make most of our laws and fleet decisions.
Any news yet on the data you sent?
I'm not likely to hear anything for a while, or on an unsecure channel for that matter.
Having any trouble settling back in on the Normandy?
I like the quiet. I miss the old faces, though. Presley, Engineer Adams, all of them. Doesn't seem right having Cerberus in charge of this ship. Are you sure working for them is the right thing to do?
Does it look like they're pulling the strings, Tali? I'm not working for them. They're working for me.
So you ordered the listening devices and tracking beacons that are all over this ship. I know you need resources to fight the Collectors, but be careful, Shepard.
I caught some tension back on Freedom's Progress, and again when you first came aboard. What happened between Cerberus and the Quarians?
They attacked one of our ships, the Edena. It seems they were attempting to kill or control a young human biotic who was on the fleet. I don't really know the details. I do know that Cerberus made an enemy of the Quarian people.
I don't like working with them any more than you do, but we need them.
I know. Just watch yourself. You're their best weapon right now. But as soon as you no longer serve their needs, be ready for them to turn on you. For now, I should get back to work. Thanks for coming by.
What can we do for you, Commander?
Carry on.
Will do, Commander.
All right, so this was fun. This was good. I really did not know, honestly, until right before we started streaming what I was actually going to get into, and it just worked out perfectly that we had a bunch of loyalty missions to do. We had a mission with Tali that we could get knocked out. Hopefully next year I'll be able to plan out N7 a little bit more thoroughly, and we can do a bunch of different stuff. Maybe with some multiplayer in Andromeda, etc. And maybe, you know, what would be interesting is if we did one year where we like played a few missions from Mass Effect 1, played a few from Mass Effect 2, and a few from Mass Effect 3, maybe like a best of and just do 1 or 2 missions in each. And, you know, if I plan it better, I might actually have more time to stream a little bit longer, maybe do like a not quite all day thing, but go on a bit more of a marathon stream. But dang, 3 hours, pretty good for it being unexpected, and this was a crazy busy day for me. And I know, again, middle of the week, many of you taking the time to be here, and a bunch of you have been here for a super long time. So really appreciate you spending this N7 day with all of us here together. Again, next year we might have some more ideas for things that we can do. But for now, happy N7 day. We will see you soon. Probably Saturday we'll be doing some more Dragon Age Inquisition, myself and Katie streaming. Until then, as always, take care, and we'll talk to you soon.